what I believe history will record, that America's challenge of today has forged man's destiny of tomorrow. And as we leave as we came, and God willing, as we shall return.
10, 9, 8, 7, ignition sequence started. All engines are started. We have ignition. 2, 1, 0. We have a liftoff.
17 Houston, you are go for orbit. Go for orbit.
America, Houston, this is America. You can breathe easier. America has arrived on station for the challenge ahead.
For 5 decades, these missions were the gold standard of what humanity could achieve. But they were never meant to be the finish line. As we watch these pioneers of the past, we are actually looking at the blueprints for our future. The lessons learned in the gray dust of Apollo are the very heartbeat of the Artemis generation. The countdown didn't stop in 1972. It just took a long breath.
We'd like to dedicate these first steps of Apollo 17 to all those who made it possible. Oh my golly! Unbelievable! This has got to be one of the most proud moments of my life, I guarantee you.
But memories aren't enough to carry us back. To reach the moon again, we had to reinvent the way we touch the stars. Artemis II isn't a throwback. It is the most complex human voyage ever attempted. And it begins now.
1972 AD. May the spirit of peace in which we came be reflected in the lives of all mankind.
When we look back at the Apollo program, I don't think anyone can privately to themselves or publicly say that this truly, indeed, has really been a beginning of man's really first venture out into deep space. And once there's a beginning, there's a continuation. A trip to Mars may not be for 10 years, a decade, it may not be till the end of the century. But I personally have faith that it will happen. And I think that the nature of mankind just press on. That's why I believe Apollo 17, yes, it's the beginning, but the whole Apollo program is really the true beginning of what's to come in the future. Godspeed and God bless you all.
50 years after the last humans traveled to the moon, the return did not begin with a crew. It began with a test. Artemis I, a new rocket, a new spacecraft. No astronauts on board, but the same destination. The system had to prove it could leave Earth, travel to the moon, and survive the violent return through our atmosphere. Inside Mission Control, this wasn't nostalgia. It was data, trajectory, telemetry, every signal traveling hundreds of thousands of kilometers back home. And when Orion splashed down safely, the question was no longer whether it could fly. The question became, who would fly next? Artemis II will not just test hardware, it will test trust. For the first time since 1972, humans will leave low Earth orbit. This time, they go with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Artemis II crew.
So, waiting in the wings, Artemis II. And now, the humans are getting on board.
Thank you to the NASA workforce. Thank you to our industry partners, everyone in Europe that's working for this.
America has made a very deliberate choice over decades to curate a global team, and we are going to the moon together.
We need to celebrate this moment in human history. It is the next step on the journey that gets humanity to Mars.
Am I excited? Absolutely. Initial reaction to that news was just intensity.
Finding out was a humbling experience for me.
Shocking. It's the best word I can say.
Disbelief, an immense sense of honor and responsibility.
Putting the first 4 crew members on Orion is what I'm so excited about. I want to hear the stories about what it is like to live in the Orion spacecraft.
We're going to test out the vehicle's ability to conduct rendezvous maneuvers, crew's ability to actually fly Orion manually, and most importantly, we're going to test the environmental control system. We got humans on board. We got to keep them safe. We got to keep them breathing. And then we're going to have them come back at that high-speed entry of 32 times the speed of sound to make sure that they can survive this for future missions.
It's very exciting to fly crew, but it's also daunting, right? Because these are people, and they're putting their lives in our hands.
This one needs to perform and will perform as good or better than the first one did.
And so we have new launch commit criteria, we have changes to our procedures, changes to our timelines.
We have new systems for crew, we have new systems in the capsule, we have an emergency egress system, we have new recovery systems.
We want to make sure that we've gone through those time and time again so that when launch day rolls around, we're ready for anything that the hardware may throw at us.
By building incrementally these capabilities, improving these capabilities that we have through the Artemis campaign, we will be able to live on the moon and be able to perform science that is very important for deep space exploration.
I am ready for Artemis II. The SLS team is ready for Artemis II.
We are ready for Artemis II.
We are ready.
We are ready.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
This is the path, not a straight line, but a carefully calculated arc through gravity and silence. Artemis II will launch from Earth and accelerate beyond low Earth orbit, leaving behind satellites, space stations, and everything familiar. In a matter of minutes, the crew will be traveling faster than any vehicle on the planet. Then comes the translunar injection burn, the maneuver that commits them to the moon. From that moment on, there is no turning around. For days, Orion will travel nearly 400,000 kilometers through deep space, farther than the International Space Station, farther than any human has gone since Apollo. As they approach the moon, its gravity will bend their trajectory into a wide, sweeping flyby, a gravitational handshake that sends them back home. No landing, no footsteps, just a precise loop around another world, and then the long fall back to Earth. A mission built not to conquer, but to return. To send humans back to the moon, power is not optional, it is required. The Space Launch System is one of the most powerful rockets ever built. 4 RS-25 engines, descendants of the Space Shuttle, igniting with controlled violence. 2 solid rocket boosters delivering the force needed to break Earth's grip. This machine was not built for orbit. It was built for departure. At its summit sits Orion, a spacecraft designed for deep space, shielded to survive re-entry at lunar velocity, engineered to keep 4 astronauts alive, nearly 400,000 kilometers from home. Metal, software, fuel, all built around a fragile truth. Humans are going back. Years of testing, thousands of engineers, millions of lines of code, all leading to a single moment. When the engines ignite, Artemis II will not just launch a rocket, it will launch a question. Can we return to deep space and stay there? For the first time in over half a century, humans will leave low Earth orbit. They will watch Earth shrink into a distant blue sphere. They will travel farther than any astronaut since Apollo, not to conquer, not yet, but to prove that the path forward is open. The journey back to the moon begins here.